Well, we might as well head inside. My Hailey here is going to be a doctor one day. What do you want to be when you grow up, Joe?
My mom asked.
Well, ma'am,
Joey started before I cut him off. Mom, it's Joey, and we aren't 4 years old. Joey only came in for a little while, but we sat on the couch and had a chance to get more acquainted. My mom breezed in and out of the kitchen, trying to stay involved in the conversation.
Hailey is somewhat of a medical prodigy. She has been watching medical shows since she was little. Instead of kid shows, my baby wanted to watch videos on the human body. When she was 9 or so, she asked for a surgical kit for her birthday. She would sit in front of the TV all day, watching documentaries on surgeries that I could not even stomach seeing. Did you know that every year for Halloween, while other girls her age dressed up as Disney princesses, she would dress up as some sort of medical personnel? She was a coroner, ambulance driver, doctor, nurse, and surgical tech. Oh, Hannah, what was she that one year she put on all the stuff with the mask?
My mom asked loudly up the stairs to my sister.
Anesthesiologist, I think.
Hannah yelled back down. Neurologist, I mumbled under my breath and felt both Joey and my mom look at me.
Yes, that's right, a neurologist. She carried around a little fake brain x-ray and everything. It was so cute. And when she was 8...
Okay, that's good, Mom. Thanks. You can go upstairs now, I requested, putting my hands over my face to cover the pink cheeks I was developing. She made a face but turned on her heels and left the room. Sorry about my mom. Where do you work? I asked, facing Joey once I heard her get all the way up the stairs.
Oh, just at a warehouse down the street,
he said, seemingly embarrassed.
So, you want to be a doctor?
He asked, turning towards me. Not really. How old are you?
17.
I'm 17 too, I said, and he shifted a bit.
I thought you were older.
He admitted. Nope, just 17 and a senior in high school.
Maybe it's the way you carry yourself.
All summer I thought you were like 20-something, I admitted to him.
Oh, why?
Josiah asked, intrigued now. Come to think of it, I don't know, actually.
Well, I did graduate a year early.
He said, leaning in to stand up. I knew deep down that he had to leave, but I really did not want him to go. I walked him to the door, where we lingered for a few seconds. He kissed me on my cheek and backed out of the door, smiling at me. We talked every night that week for several hours. I dreaded hanging up the phone, but I had to go to school in the mornings. Tonight, he asked me if we could make plans to go to the movies this weekend. When I got off the phone with him, I went to my mom's room and begged her to let me go to the movies with Joey. After much pleading, she finally agreed, knowing this was the first boy that I had liked since Randy moved away 2 summers ago. Today was the day. I'd just gotten home from school and decided to take a shower. I did not realize I would spend hours trying to decide what I was going to wear. It was, after all, my first real date. Until this point, I was an utter tomboy. I only had a couple skirts in my closet that Coach made me wear for dress day during basketball season. I finally settled on some tight blue jeans, a purple halter top, and some purple and white sneakers. I always wore a matching bandana. I had one in every color, and they all had pretty jewels sewn onto the front of them. I was in the bathroom trying to get my bandana positioned properly when I heard the knock on the door. He was 15 minutes early picking me up, which gave him time to come in and get drilled by my mom before we left. I was nervous the entire car ride to the movie theater. We got out of the car and walked up casually, like friends. He held the door open for me, and we walked inside the theater together.
Do you want popcorn or a drink?
I only shook my head side to side because I was too nervous to speak. We watched the movie intently with no funny business. He did manage to put his arm around me, but it was more of a protective feeling than a harassing one. I felt better when I assumed that Joey was a little nervous, too. Afterwards, we walked back to his car, holding hands, and I felt on top of the world.
I'm pretty hungry. Do you want something?
Sure, I said, taking any opportunity to prolong the evening with Josiah Hunter. There was a fast food restaurant at the corner of the intersection, so we headed that way. While Joey was driving, I stared at the side of his face, dreamily. Out of nowhere, he looked over at me, so I turned away. Joey decided to make a U-turn instead of going to the next light, and he ended up running over the median. I was about to burst with laughter, but I noticed his extremely embarrassed face, so I refrained. From the drive-thru and all the way back to my house, neither one of us said another word. He parked beside my house and we sat in his car and ate our food. We arranged to see each other the next weekend, and before leaving the car, I kissed him on his cheek. Even though we made plans, I didn't see Joey again for 2 weeks. It was about 5 o'clock in the evening when he came over, and I could tell something was bothering him. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm just upset that I didn't get to see you last week. Monday was my birthday, and I had to work all night.
I felt horrible for missing his 18th birthday. I had no idea it was even coming, I said. Want to come in? I left him in the living room and went upstairs. I closed the door to my bedroom and pulled back the corner of my carpet that held my entire life savings. All $243 of it. I worked part-time at my neighbor's puppy store over the summer to earn this cash. I peeled back a $20 bill and ran downstairs. Hey, will you take me somewhere right quick?
Of course, where?
He asked, raising his eyebrows. There was a place where you could rent movies right down the street, so I just gave him the directions but didn't tell him where we were going. We walked into the movie store and browsed each row before selecting. It was packed tonight, which was odd for a Tuesday evening. Pick out 2 movies, I instructed, and he lit up. Once he made his selections, I guided him to the line. As we were waiting, I ducked under the rails and grabbed 3 different kinds of candy from the racks. I was unsure which one he would like, so I covered all the bases. I got chewy, chocolate, and sour. We ended up spending his belated birthday cuddled up on my couch watching movies and eating candy. From that day on, I spent every day with Joey that I could. He would stop by to visit at least twice a week, even more if he were on his way to work. Thanksgiving was coming, so I knew I would have a few days off from school, more time to spend with Joey. Thanksgiving was like it always was. My family went to my grandma's house for an early feast. I was sad I did not get to see Joey that day, so I asked him to come pick me up from my grandmother's house after dinner. The great part was that my grandmother lived about 3 miles from Joey's house. Instead of taking me back to my house, he took me to his aunt's house for the first time. Joey moved in with his aunt when he was in high school because he got accepted to a fancy private school with an arts program. Joey's dad lived on the other side of town, so it would have been difficult to go back and forth every day. After he graduated high school, he got a job and ended up staying here to help his aunt out with the bills. When I walked in, I noticed right away that the place was spotless. There was a faint hint of fried foods, and I loved it. Joey picked me up, lifted me over the back of the couch, and sat me down in the middle. When he plopped down next to me, he asked me what I wanted to watch. Reaching forward to grab the television remote, I could feel him staring at me. He leaned in slowly, and I instinctively closed my eyes. Our lips touched, and a spark ran through me. It was a closed-mouth kiss, and although his experience outranked mine supremely, he did not push for more. I was the one to initiate the next kiss. I wanted so badly to feel his mouth on mine. Again. Unable to control my pubescent urges, I pushed him over and scrambled onto his lap. I started to kiss him, but my only reference was movies I was not even supposed to have watched. We parted eventually. Joey and I were like magnets. The further he moved away, the stronger the force was trying to pull us back together.